Oh, that's fun. Live over there. All good. Perfect. I will call our facilities meeting to order, February 9th, 2026, 4 p.m. Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. I know just going around the district, we've got a lot of stuff happening. So with that said, of course, I will turn it right over to the folks that actually make that happen. And, go for your updates.
All right, Jeff, Tony.
For the referendum projects, we talk about the property at the ponds almost on a daily basis, and I think most of us know where we are on that. Somerville School, the Somerville Elementary School addition is going very well. They're putting block walls up on the second floor right now. We anticipate steel starting this week for the roof steel. So that'll be going in. And the above ceiling, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, all that's happening on the first floor, and the end wall is happening on the second floor as they finish the block up there in the classrooms. Somerville High School gym, I spoke with our folks that are doing the fire and egress modeling last Thursday. They hope to have that done early this week and the results published into our design team by the end of this week. And the construction documents from our design team are supposed to be submitted to OSF by early June. Ashley Ridge High School, the addition renovations out there. The band room is going very well. If you can see, the block work is it's progressed farther along than what that picture shows. They're about done with the block, and they'll start with the structural steel for the roof this week. And hopefully they will start the roofing on the band room and the roofing on the additional part of the school. We had 100,000 square feet of the school that was already there that we're re-roofing at the same time under the same contract. So hopefully all that roofing will start here within the next couple of weeks. And the demo for the new weight room is nearing completion, and they're going to start on the slab for that this week. And they'll be starting the block work for that shortly thereafter. The Fort Dorchester High School classroom addition, the permitting is complete. The pre-qualified contractors have all the bid documents, and they will submit their bids on the 17th this month. And Knightsville Elementary School campus upgrades. I don't want to call that an elementary school addition because there's much more to it than just a classroom addition. There's a lot of pieces and parts going on over at Knightsville Elementary School. We've got had a kickoff meeting week before last. We're going to be meeting again this week on Wednesday at 1 o'clock with the design folks over at Knightsville to meet with Miss Seaberg and some of the team players over there. And we're going to be discussing the programming of exactly what class, how many gen ed classes, how many sped classes, all the pieces and parts that we're going to need for that addition and upgrades that we're doing over at Knightsville. We'll be discussing all that on Wednesday. Other CIP construction out at Oak Brook, the middle addition. We're just awaiting some LLR final approval. We had to reaccomplish a flow test on a hydrant, and it was scheduled to happen the day it was snowing, and that got kicked back a couple of days. So I hope it got done like the latter part of last week, but I haven't heard anything on that lately. But that's all we're waiting for there is that hydrant flow test so that LLR can approve the final fire riser drawings on that. The elementary school addition, the roofing is complete on that. They're finishing up the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing in that building. Permanent power, they're going to have that on this week. And the above ceiling inspection is tentatively scheduled for March the 2nd. So that one's going to be rapidly coming to a close here in the next couple of months. The bus maintenance facility at Oak Brook Depot, we have a pre-construction meeting out there. We're going to have that hopefully next week, and that we're making some changes on that because they had the apron going into the building 75 feet from the parking lot and the throat. So we're trying to reduce that distance from the bus lot itself to the front door of that building. So we're we're not encroaching that much into the playground as we are. So we're having to relook at that, and then we're gonna have, and that kind of affects the water and sewer service as well. So we're looking at all that. We're working with the design team, JLA and EdCon to resolve those issues. But once that project gets started, it's gonna go quick.
All right, just some other facility updates. The below projects are going to be brought to the board tonight, I think, to be approved. These are projects that we already have a funding source in place, and we already have contracts in place, but they exceed the $250,000 threshold. So they'll obviously be coming to you all for in the actual board meeting for approval. Just want to give a little background on some of those. Fort Dorchester High School's gym, it was installed in 2011. They put in what I would consider more of a competition floor on a non-competition slab. So if you see the picture on the top, this is what we did last year. We had to actually tear out the keys because there were soft spots and it was actually cracking. And so we rebuilt the keys, and we're still having issues other places. But the biggest thing to note is if you see the subfloor how it's just basically strips of plywood, it would be great if you had a very flat subfloor, but you don't. So you have places where it's fractured. The actual subfloor is fractured, and you also have now the tongue and groove fracture. Unfortunately, our gyms aren't competition gyms. They're multi-purpose rooms. And so when they roll out the carts and things like that are heavy, and they do anything in there just other than playing basketball or volleyball, it puts stress on that floor. And whenever I had a guy come down last year from the Maple Flooring Manufacturing Association, he basically said that, hey, until it gets really bad, don't replace it. But we're starting to see a lot of failure now. But basically what you have is your tongue and groove is starting to crack everywhere, because you'll have some areas where the boards land where there's nothing below them. And so prolonged exposure to heavy loads, it's just starting to fail. So we're wanting to replace that, and we're probably going to look to do that after the spring, the early season starts, so probably in March. Actually, we talked to the school, and they'd actually rather shut it down at the end of school, right then between like April and May, than in the summer. So it's more conducive for that. So that's what we're going to be aiming to do. The other thing is Flourtown, Newington. I hate to say it, but that building is not that old. They're Commons building, but we have spent over a third of the cost of those units in the last 2 years just in repairs. And I know when Tony first had the building come online, there were a lot of warranty issues with the units that we ended up getting repair of the warranty, but they've just been a lot of area of problem for us. And so it's something we're going to look to replace here in the near future with some different type of units as well. Other projects, I'll just briefly go through some of these. The exterior building project at Oak Brook and Oak Brook Elementary should be complete in March. We did have one small area to add on as a change order for some flashing that we had an issue over the gym. So that's still on schedule to be done in March. We are actually relocating some portables from Gregg Middle School to Sand Hill, and the OSF CD documents are being reviewed now, and we should have that complete pretty soon, I think within the next couple of weeks. And we'll be getting bids for a company to move those trailers to Sand Hill. This has all been done obviously just as a precaution. We don't really have a need for them at Gregg anymore. So instead of buying some like we did last time, we have these available. They're in pretty good shape. We're going to move them there and then do a little bit of renovation on it ourselves and have them in place just in case, because we never know what's going to happen with the ponds. And we're still obviously very hopeful, but want to make sure we have a classroom space in place if we need it. Austin Middle School, they've got multiple projects coming up this summer. We're actually having a pre-construction meeting for their restrooms Thursday. So we're actually going to be renovating all their restrooms, and we're going to be doing a complete change out of all our student furniture and teacher desks and chairs. So starting to try to do that across the district slowly and start replacing some of this older furniture that we've had for many years that's failing. And so that's very exciting. We're going to start that at Austin. The Somerville High School HVAC project is split into 2 years, probably going to have to go into a third year just because of costs. We're going to begin that this summer. And obviously today was a day for unforeseen stuff. Transformer blows across the street and we lose a leg of power, and it's 4 units at Somerville High School today. So far we're thinking it's around $350,000. That's just a ballpark estimate damage. So yeah, we've definitely lost one of our cafeteria units. We have another one limping along, and then we lost 3 classroom units. So 4.5, 5 total units, and we're still verifying, but
We turn them on this afternoon to begin the,
it's not full. Well, I don't think they've turned it on yet. They're gonna do it in the morning first thing to see what happens. They tested everything else out, but the one in the cafeteria smoked out the whole building, well, the whole cafeteria, so we didn't want to try it until we actually make sure we're clear of students. So I think they're gonna try that at 6 in the morning and see if it, just turn it on, see what happens, and I think it's pretty much gone. It's an original unit from the 1997 renovation, so it's definitely priced.
on the list, right?
Yeah, it's on the list. Let's see, we're gonna be renovating some buildings at Gregg Middle School this summer, in order to, accommodate their fine arts, program. We're gonna be moving that from the 600 building, which is down the bottom of the hill, into a more convenient and central location for the school. And so that'll come with a few, modifications to the building. And we're also approved to move forward with that courtyard renovation, which will start at spring break. Probably be doing a little bit of work at spring break, pausing, coming back and finishing it over the summer, just because of the nature of the work. And let's see what else we have. Oak Brook Elementary, same thing that we did last year, where we have to go into every classroom, pull out every ceiling to an extent and put in new units. So we'll be doing that at Oak Brook Elementary this year. And that should wrap up early in the summer. We also are going to be doing some minor renovations to Oak Brook Middle's cafeteria. And then once the new buildings are done in the back, we'll be repaving that back area of asphalt. We did the front lot, resealed and striped it, and we'll be doing the back once everything's done with construction. Windsor Hill also, they're set to get a full mill and pave on all their parking lots, so that'll happen this summer. And William Reeves, we're expecting to do a full school painting on them this summer and a full HVAC replacement. So lots of HVAC fun, and it never ends. I think it'll just keep rolling. Sounds like. We're going to be putting out the Newington project for bid this month. That is going to be probably our most challenging project, I would say, because of the time frame and just what we have to do. We basically have to empty out the entire building, or at least empty out an entire section that we're going to do. It's because it's going to have to be abated. We have to abate everything above ceiling grid, then replace all the grid, replace all the HVAC ductwork, replace all the lighting. While we're in there, I don't see why we wouldn't go ahead and do the abatement on the wall panels as well. So it may end up being a 2-year project. We're not sure yet. We're waiting for the bids to go out, obviously, and get some feedback from our prospective bidders on that. And the Fort Dorchester Elementary HVAC project, that'll also happen this summer as well. So that'll, those items. Another thing that's important to capture and make sure everybody's aware of this summer is all of the large scale moves we have to do this summer. So I just we talked about it last week, and I just thought it was very important to capture all that and make sure everybody's aware of just how much is going to be involved with a lot of these projects. We're going to be moving all of the new furniture that we bought last year from Span to Somerville Elementary and supplementing that with some new furniture that we're going to purchase to make sure they have not just new furniture for their new wing, but also for the building, because we're impacting such a large percentage of that building. We'll also be moving all the staff and students, all the staff and furniture from that's going over into the new building as well. And then we'll be moving adult ed and the nursing services programs from the existing trailers at Knightsville to Span. So that'll happen. We'll also be moving some folks from special services that are at Gregg to Span. We'll also be doing moving the classrooms from Knightsville that are going to be staged in the trailers. We're going to move them this summer. That way, if we're ready to break ground and construction in November or whenever, we don't have to worry about disrupting during the school year. We'll go ahead and start out the school year in those trailers. So that way everybody can just be, kind of at home and at most, I guess, the least amount of disruption we can have for this project.
And we've met out there with the admin staff, walk the trailers, walk the whole campus, and come up with our first plan. And then as we move into more of a definite plan, we'll begin to talk about it.
Yeah. And it'll be very good to know that a lot of the demolition will take place hopefully in the summer, while we have our students will get those classrooms out there in the
Very early in the game. But when we had our meeting, we did talk about possibly we won't be able to get a land disturbance permit that fast, but kind of how they did out here when they demoed the building and just had the slab left. That could be an option. That way, we're not doing a lot of the heavy demo while school's going on. So it's obviously a long way to go as far as planning that out, but we want to be, done with our part.
And that's why it's important to get adult ed out of there. That'll be the first move that has to happen to get it expanded. Others can be slowly to get in there, but we need those trailers to get ready to go for moving any classroom furniture out, some of those from those classrooms before we do that demo. So
And from experience, I've been a part of in CCSD, a lot of mid-year moves when you're moving them into trailers, out of trailers. It's very stressful on the teaching staff and the students learning a new area. I mean, it's better just to go ahead and get them in there and get them set. So that way they're there for the long haul. And then when we move them, it's their final move into their new rooms. The only other thing I want to bring up is we did have a dedication, and I think it was 2 weeks ago now. Beach Hill did a little dedication for their courtyard, so we were able to help them with the turf in there, and it turned out really nice. The kids were really, really, really excited about it, and they have a lot of fun out there, and it definitely transformed that space a lot.
Yeah, I went out and visited.
Did you?
They were having a great time when I got there, and I love that turf.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the best.
Every time I've been there, whether it be Miss Nix or whoever's there, they just say how many, like they have kids out there all
Mhm.
periods of the day, and they're using it a
Well, you
lot.
can use
So,
them for a variety
Yeah.
of things, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Did they name it the Smith Souls?
No name for the courtyard as of now that I'm aware of.
Yes, against board policy.
We can make an exception.
No, ma'am.
We got some chicken coops named.
Even better, or some chickens.
Give me all the chicken and goats.
But we did our walkthrough and we did 5 campuses last week and they were good. I am so proud to say I'm a part of DD2, not just for our academics, but also the way the buildings are kept. And we have continued to do that for the eons now. And so I'm very excited about Austin and that outside courtyard and the way they have upgraded it, and it looks so good. I mean, I was there for most of my academic life, and so it's never, ever looked that good. And the tennis court being there, I think is going to really enhance everything. So I want to say kudos to our construction, our facilities, and all of you, the work that you all put in. It's just great. We can see it. And
Yeah.
anybody driving by probably wonder, I wonder what they have going on over there. So.
we want to talk a little bit, I think, when we're talking about facilities, something to be aware of, the road and expansion over by Austin
Yeah.
Middle School. I think we talked a little bit about that, but Jeff.
We got actually
Kenny, wanna talk-
Austin's in play. We have Somerville High School's in play, of course, Knightsville. So those are our 3 main campuses that are going to be affected by the road projects. So, we're in touch, and I know Rhonda and Tony and Jeff met the people out at Austin, and I think we got a foot back. Is that what we're trying? I think we may have got a foot back.
We're asking for 2.
Yeah, I mean, their original plan had it coming to the corner of that 8th grade building, the 900 wing. The right of way was going to come to within about 8 feet total, and so that left with 5 feet for a sidewalk, because a lot of the Austin Bailey students come that way.
We're trying to get a
the
wall.
school. So we're going to probably build some sort of a block wall in between that and the right of way to allow for just a little bit of protection and security on our end.
Rhonda, you want to go into are you familiar with the paperwork that is going to be here soon presented to the board?
They are going to ask permission from the school in in order to make these come into our right of way where it is now. Once they get permission, then they will do an appraisal that they will provide back. We obviously can counter depending on what the appraisal looks like. But for Austin Bailey, we're going to be all of the trees and the fencing that we put up when we opened Austin Bailey, unfortunately, will be impacted and will have to come down. There's trees on the Austin Middle School, pine trees, that would need to come down along with that fencing. So initially, once they get the plan detailed, and as Kenny mentioned, we met with them last week to see if we could tweak that a little bit, maybe maneuver the sidewalk and have the best of both worlds. So once they get that finalized, then they will present that. And we've had a copy of that document given to Ms. Christie to review, but first comes permission and then comes the appraisal.
We can counter, and then they can accept it or not. I mean, it's one of those things where they're asking, but they're not really asking.
Is this the county or the town?
This is is it the county doing
It's
the?
county.
pennies?
County.
County.
DOT.
Is it a joint project or just the county?
County.
County,
Yeah,
just the
it's-
county.
yes,
78,
it's
78.
The whole
Just the
ride.
county, okay.
And so what we're doing is we're getting obviously cost, how much is it gonna cost to move and relocate this fence? How much is it gonna cost to replant these trees?
Sign.
And all the stuff we're gonna have to do, so we can at least, when we get an appraisal, we can say, okay, that you take into account that it's gonna cost us this much to, to accommodate this as well, so.
Our big concern is getting that wall up. I mean, be able to scoot the sidewalk, basically running right beside the building and then having a wall that would separate, because there's gonna be a green space between that and the road, but we prefer to have that wall. Because, as you cross 78, that is a major cross right there for our kids. And then they go down to Austin Bailey. So we really want to make sure that as it goes from that first stretch by Austin Middle School before it kind of goes back into our property, we really want to make sure that wall's there so that the oncoming traffic that we're protecting our kids.
Is that, will they take that into account, the cost that we?
We're gonna ask.
We're gonna put it all out there, yep. How much it's gonna cost for the wall, everything.
Everything, okay.
It's kind of like Rhonda said, we have to give them permission. Then they go do their finance piece and then they send us a proposal to what they're willing to pay us and we can counter that. But after that, it doesn't really sound like, there's, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
We just gotta try to work with them. And like I said, Tony and Rhonda and Jeff met them out there trying to get a couple feet or two to secure that wall, make sure we have a safe space for our kids.
Was that their invite to you or is that you?
Oh, no, they invited us. Well, they sent us a message saying, hey,
This is happening.
we're getting ready to take some property. You want to come talk to us about it?
Thank you for that clarification.
And timeline wise, I think they were thinking it's gonna probably be
The 27,
summer of 27 is when they were thinking construction may start, if everything goes like they're thinking it's
so-
gonna go,
so you look at it, summer of 27 is Austin. Knightsville is 29 and Somerville High School will be 30. So, we still we'll have to go through this process 2 more times, whatever process we have now. I don't know about the Knightsville one since that was the county road they were using as a bus loop.
Right.
But the Somerville High School one, when it widened 17 going through there, we're going to definitely have to relocate that sign and how much of that between the fence and the sidewalk is going to be taken. So how much that's going to encroach on the front of Somerville High School. So
It doesn't go far enough where you would lose parking in the front of the school, would you?
It just depends.
possibly. Well, I'm sorry, I misspoke. We have 4. Because we also have Somerville Elementary because we're also putting 5 lanes out of here. So, yeah. So
And the one thing we're trying to get, they want to put a median out here in front of Somerville Elementary. And so that would really hinder the way our parents and the pull out from the district office and from people that are coming in and out of Somerville Elementary. So not sure how that's going to look. So we're trying to figure that, navigate that as
We
well.
did learn that there's a DOT, they did a survey that, I think, what is it, at intersections, if you're not turning left into a business on the other side, and it's fiscally much safer. So that's why they're doing a lot of these medians.
because the DOT did the study of
How
accidents.
do you get there?
Well, you know how they're doing it all the way down, like all the way down
Go
Main Street.
down where and
go-
turn around?
That's
Yeah, but there's a light
But
or
then they
something
want
like
you to
that.
U-turn?
what they
Well,
say.
they
The U-turn
do
is
it.
safer.
Design
than-
U-turns
Safer
are
to
designed
U-turn.
Well, designed cutouts for U-turn,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's the old rule.
Say it again.
But I don't think they thought that all the way out, because I have to do that for my church. And those people traveling do not like you turning in front of them.
Well, I think it's definitely the DOT because it's not just in Dorchester County. So, I mean, Berkeley
Yeah.
County's going crazy with Michigan State.
Charlton down there.
You
North
blink
Area,
and they're putting, medians all the way down there.
everywhere. They have a lot of money, extra money must be.
That,
They
they
have
were
a
very
lot of
clear.
medians going
A-
up.
a lot- Everything we're doing, they're pretty good about saying that it's basically, everything's in line with SCDOT. So everything Dorchester County DOT is doing is lining right up with what SCDOT is doing as well.
I don't know. I mean, but seems like a U-turn is more dangerous.
Dangerous.
But I'm not,
I guess they can
Expert.
put it where they want it, maybe,
Yeah.
if they put the U-turn where they want it.
and and you use the right one instead of just making one.
Yeah, because I mean,
That makes sense.
like right out front of the district office, it's going to be a median with grass and trees, 2 roads, road each way, then 2 sidewalks, and then a green area. So it's the parking out front of Somerville Elementary will not be there.
That's
I mean, on one hand, I'm glad we're actually doing something about that as a community because it's horrendous, but,
And the meetings I've been to, it's, you know, we need infrastructure. We need roads because it helps our school buses and our traffic. You know, but this, you know, it's kind of like Knightsville and some other areas. We're gonna have some growing pains until we.
All these plans aren't finalized. Like the one in front of Main Street, in front of Centerville Elementary, that's final. I don't think
It's
that's
not, it's
final.
it's not final yet. I mean, but.
Because I've had a lot of neighbors and friends who live on
I know
that
that-
street reach out, and they're all weighing in. I mean, they're hoping to get that adjusted. You know, I mean, because they have asked for comments, like public input, and I know there are a lot of people giving it right now. So I don't, you know.
They
I don't-
ask, but they
Well,
don't.
I know 78, I know
Well,
78.
and I don't know, you know, but
Because Dorchester Road is supposed to also be expanding, so. I mean, everywhere we send school buses around our district is plans to expand and.
I had a question going back to the Flowertown Newington HVAC stuff.
Yes.
That it looks like we're taking action on tonight. So we have, how, like, what's the warranty on that? We have no recourse.
So the original warranty would have been at most a 5-year warranty. And those were installed in 2015.
15.
I think it's when they were installed. So, yeah, we exceeded the warranty on those. And I mean, and we got to a point where, so Flower Towns went down 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and it had needed a temperature control board. So we ordered that. Very next day, Newington's goes down and it has a blown compressor, $16,000 compressor. So we took the board off of Newington's, put it on, Flower Town's got it running, and now we've got a temporary rental unit feeding Newington. So just like that, a drop in the bucket, 16,000. And I know for a fact we've spent a little over 100,000 in the last 16, 17 months on those units, just going through and trying to get things repaired and done to keep them going. It's one of those systems that it controls everything, so it's very involved and very pricey as well.
Not because I'm a fan of litigation. I mean, does it make sense? Obviously, if you're racking up that kind of money and now we're gonna spend X, Y, Z on new units, if we have a documented manufacturer's liability, does it make sense to try and recoup any of that? We're footing some big bills there.
I'm pretty sure that they were originally rep by Train, those
I
units,
think so. Yeah.
and Train no longer reps them anymore. So the recourse and the process we'd have to go through to try to do anything at all and you're not going to find any unit in the system that's going to have more than 5-year warranty on anything that unit. So we're much beyond that. So I don't think that it's actually feasible. We could certainly look into it a little more.
Maybe for just some questions.
Yeah, we could certainly look into it.
Yep.
We'd have to prove defects, which is difficult.
And if I'm correct, they did, under warranty, did go back in and bring the machines back up to.
About 8 years ago, we went through both of those units, top and bottom, and we had trained guys come out and they got them running, and then they ran for that probably year, and they kept it alive during the warranty period. And that was pretty much a never-ending warranty call on those things until the warranty ran out, and that's when it started costing us money.
So how many does a unit cost, one unit cost? Cause I'm trying to think if we're
So for something like that, it's
That's-
$150,000.
for 5 years warranty,
The unit itself costs somewhere around $150,000.
right, but the warranty is 5 years?
It usually comes, the manufacturer will usually give you a 5-year, at
That's
best.
a lot of,
At best.
I'm naive, but
Yeah.
that seemed like a lot of time.
They'll give you that at best. I mean,
That
a lot
much
of the things
money.
we put in, you get a 1-year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the nature of that industry.
They don't make them to last.
I know that's how they make money, but wow.
Yeah, like the ones at Oak Brook Middle, we changed all those units out last year, and a lot of them, the good portion of them were 1986. They were original units to the building, and we'll never get that kind of life out of the new ones, unfortunately.
Some of our high schools were,
Maybe 1997.
and that they were used when they were used when we
That's
got
the
them. in
story.
97.
That's the story. Is they were all Desert
Yeah, a
Storm.
lot of
all over.
Desert Storm.
Huh?
That's the story.
Interesting. Story.
got our money out of those.
I think that's really all I had. I did want to go back to the very first point, talking about the ponds. And from my vantage point, and that's where I just want to kind of make sure and reconcile you guys agree. I think we're basically back at an impasse, for lack of better words. The developer saying one thing that may or may not be actually happening with the county. The county's kind of fed up and their hands are thrown up because they don't have the time or will or resources to deal with that continued ridiculousness from the developer. So I don't know what else we do. Any, I'm just looking for input. Is there anything?
Well, I mean, the one thing that we have done, I think we bought the steel, we bought the controls, HVAC before those prices went up in January. So those are being stored right now. So we've saved some considerable amount of money there by buying that ahead of time. We could control. As far as the developer and the county, still just waiting for that phase. Was it,
We just try to keep just try to keep the balloon in the air of possibilities, because as you've said all the time, we get the land tomorrow, we can start tomorrow. And so at any time, we keep, Tony tries to make contact once a week, and just, what can we do?
But again, you guys have taken extraordinary efforts to try and make lemonade out of lemons and whatnot. But the reality is we don't have the property. And in terms of planning around, not just constructing, but the impact on the schools and school districts, zoning and everything else is impacted by this. It's at this point, at best, they'll cross the threshold where they have to convey the property over mid-year, right? If you unless you have new information, that was the last I heard. So there's no way that school's getting built in time to open in 27.
Window's not closed yet. Till the window closes,
We're always the eternal optimist, and I appreciate
Well, I
it.
mean, no,
We're gonna maintain hope.
we've been in contact with the builder, and they're great, and as they say, they're ready to go when we get the land. So until that window closes and pushes us to the next window, and then like I said, any moment, they fully understand. Tony communicates once a week. Hey, where are we? What can we do? Hey, where are we? What can we do? We get feedback, and we pass that feedback along.
And that's been the frustrating thing. I think we've both all talked to the county, we've talked to the developer, and again, we're just kind of caught in the middle. I know they are at the phase where they're putting the townhomes in at the ponds, where the school is going to go next door to that area. So they are now putting dirt in and they're leveling that. So we're still, as Tony would say, he's had a conversation with the higher ups there at Coulter once a week to see how we can get this property, and still it's been kind of, don't know yet. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is you've got Coulter supposedly saying that they can expedite it with the county. The county looks at it, they're saying it's already gonna be turned over June or July of this year. They would have their meetings that they have to go through. Like, the timeline is already extended. So the county at this point is not willing to bend over backwards for the developer, because the developer is certainly not bent over backwards to make this easy. And then we're in the middle because we need land.
correct. And it's a he said, she said thing between the developer and the county, and said, we've given you this. No, you haven't. Yeah, I've seen this. You haven't given that. So it's one of those things, we're just caught in the middle, but we continue to ask. And, as Kenny said, we're optimistic, but yet pessimistic at the same time. So hope for the best, prepare for the worst on it. So.
I mean, Tony's and his crew's done a great job with our builder. I mean, they're ready. Plans are ready. Like I said, we've already bought, material. So, we're gonna keep pushing, and if we can find the right button, get rolling. It's not closed.
So have the builders and the Coulter and all of them, have they all been in a room with us before?
Once,
Together?
Yes, they have.
Yes,
It's been a while.
we have tried to set up another meeting and they do not want to meet with us. Is that correct, Tony?
Like that it wasn't said that way, but
The impression.
it was implied.
We've requested to go above the person who's local, and And we've yet to get a meeting with the above person. We've already spent it down. But,
This calendar here.
I say we send Cynthia.
I mean, we do have the address where they work. So we could-
Don't tempt me, please. I hate things like this. Wow.
Here, Florida's a good time of year.
Very frustrating, very
It
frustrating.
is.
Yes, it is.
So they expect folks to buy their homes even though they're playing around with
Well,
us.
if you look at their website, they use our name as a
selling
pushing a
point.
selling point to buy a culture home in the Ponds. It's Dorchester Digital School.
Oh,
Might be one of the top ones, but
I think it's what it says.
I think.
well, we need to combine. And say
got you.
that out
I got
loud. But technically, we need to say that's not true because they're not playing
I mean,
in the same game that we're in.
we are gonna have a school there. It's just a matter of
When,
if the house is built before the school's built before the house.
Okay.
Anything else? Board, committee, anybody else have anything for the facilities team? Thank you, guys. Like I said, going around and, I think we've got our facility visits Thursday.
Thursday,
Yeah.
So Thursday, should be on everybody's calendar. So please, if you can make that, please come out. Thank you, guys.
One more item. We don't have another committee meeting before the 23rd, the meeting on the 23rd, but we are opening bids for the Fort Dorchester High School Strength Training Classroom for the actual construction company. So we'll be bringing that straight to the board on the 23rd. We just wanted to make y'all aware of that. We brought the pre-qualified list of the contractors. So we'll actually have that ready to go with an amount for our contract that night. We'll upload it to your packet so you have that ahead of time, but since we didn't have another committee meeting, we wanted to bring it in.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Love it. Anything else for the good of the group? Going once, twice, sold. We will close out our facilities meeting. Next is finance at 5 PM and then our board meeting at 6. We'll see everybody in a few minutes. Thank you.